Oh, Superwoman, the evil version of Wonder Woman from Earth 3. In this upside-down universe, everything is flipped. Heroes are villains, and villains are heroes. First appearing in 2013, Superwoman quickly became one of the most terrifying characters in DC's multiverse. Unlike the heroic Wonder Woman that we all know and love, Superwoman is ruthless and powerful with abilities that can match or even surpass Diana's. But here's the twist. She was initially imagined as an alternate version of Lois Lane. Yeah, Lois Lane. Over time, some stories reimagined her as Donna Troy, adding more layers to her character. Superwoman is a proud member of the crime syndicate, Earth 3's dark version of the Justice League. Her weapon of choice is the lasso of submission, and as you can imagine, it's a pretty nasty counterpart to Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. And let's not even talk about her dramatic relationships. She's a lover of Owlman and the stepmother of Ultraman's son, Luthor-El. Talk about a complicated family dynamic. Here's the thing though, her story doesn't really end there. During the Infinite Frontier era, Superwoman was replaced in the Syndicate by Donna Troy. However, her legacy as one of DC's most fearsome characters remains strong. The name Superwoman has been used for female versions of Superman, like Lois Lane, Lana Lang, and Lucy Lane, showing how versatile this title actually is. But whether she's Lois or Donna, one thing's clear. Superwoman proves that even the most heroic figures can have a dangerously dark side. But we're just getting ramped up, and here in a little bit we're going to talk about one of the most impressive, Cassandra Sandsmark, who's a perfect fusion of godlike and human powers. But more on that here in a little bit. In the Flashpoint timeline, Diana of Themyscira is nothing like the hero that we know. Here, she transforms into a cold and ruthless queen. As the ruler of New Themyscira, she leads her Amazon warriors with an iron fist, showing no hesitation in taking lives if it means winning the brutal war against Emperor Aquaman and his Atlantean army. This version of Wonder Woman is one of the most terrifying that we've ever seen. Oh, and her powers, they're on a completely different level. Not only does she have godlike strength, speed, and agility, but her intelligence is also at its peak. She's a master of combat and strategy, making her as dangerous with her mind as she is with her weapons. And speaking of weapons, she wields her bracelets of submission and the lasso of truth like tools of destruction, turning even the truth into a lethal weapon. But the real shocker, she kills the Shazam kids during the Atlantean invasion without a second thought. It's a chilling reminder of how far this version of Diana has fallen. She's no longer the protector of peace. She's a merciless villain waging a war that leaves nothing but destruction in its wake. Even in chaos, she remains a symbol of raw power. Her abilities, from accelerated healing to her superhuman reflexes, make her nearly unstoppable. And yet, even this mighty queen has a weakness. Piercing weapons can still hurt her. This Diana is a dark twist on the Wonder Woman that we know and love, and her story is definitely unforgettable. Valkyrie Brunhilde emerges as a twisted version of Wonder Woman in one of DC's darkest alternate universes. On Earth 10, where Nazis dominate the world, Brunhilde grew up shaped by these fascist ideologies, becoming one of the most fearsome Valkyries in existence. Her strength, speed, and deadly precision made her a key figure in helping the Nazis win World War II. Unlike the heroic Diana that we know, Brunhilde fully embraced a path of destruction and tyranny. Armed with a mighty lasso and an array of superhuman abilities, she was an unstoppable force on the battlefield. She soared through the skies with incredible speed, and her unmatched durability made her nearly invincible. But her reign of terror didn't exactly last forever. When the Forerunner, a fierce combatant from the Monitors, arrived on Earth 10, Brunhilde faced her most formidable challenge yet. In a brutal showdown, Forerunner defeated her, marking the fall of this fearsome Valkyrie. Despite her fall, her strength was undeniable. She could take on the best warriors in the multiverse and still hold her ground, showcasing her as one of the most dangerous versions of Wonder Woman ever seen. Even after being defeated, she didn't disappear entirely. Instead, she was recruited into Monarch's army, continuing her path as a warrior. Her story is a stark contrast to the Wonder Woman that we know and love. It's a chilling glimpse into what happens when power and ideology collide, creating a character as terrifying as she is fascinating. Cassandra Sandsmark, better known as Wonder Girl, is one of the most fascinating versions of Wonder Woman. First introduced in Wonder Woman number 105, Cassie is the daughter of Zeus's son, an immortal woman, giving her a powerful mix of divine and human traits. Her story is one of courage, of curiosity and incredible strength, making her a standout hero in the DC Universe. Her abilities come primarily from her godly heritage, and they're nothing short of amazing. She's strong, like catch a falling jet levels of strong. She's also fast enough to dodge bullets and disappear before anybody even notices, and she can fly. Not just a piddly little hover, but a full-on soaring through the skies, even at suborbital levels. Honestly, that's the power you'd expect from a demigod, and Cassie lives up to it every step of the way. Amazingly, her journey took an interesting turn when Zeus granted her her fondest wish, gifting her incredible powers. Over time, though, these abilities started to fade, but Ares, ever the opportunistic jerkhole that he is, stepped up and gave her some of his powers. Along with that came her unique magic lasso. Unlike Diana's lasso of truth, Cassie channels Zeus's lightning, turning it into a weapon as fierce as she is. Despite her strength, there's one little twist. Cassie's mom can take away her powers with just a touch thanks to Zeus's attempts to balance out her abilities. Still, with her mix of raw power and an unstoppable spirit, Wonder Girl has more than earned her place among the Teen Titans in Young Justice, proving herself as a hero who can face the darkest of villains. Donna Troy is one of the most fascinating versions of Wonder Woman, and her story is a roller coaster ride through the multiverse. Initially created as a magical mirror duplicate of Diana to be her playmate, Donna's origins have been reimagined countless times, making her character rich with twists and turns. In one version, she's a clay figure brought to life by a witch. In another, she's tied to the Titans of myth. Every retelling adds a few more layers to her story. As a core member of the Teen Titans and later the Justice League, Donna has repeatedly proven that she's more than just a copy of Wonder Woman. She has Amazon-level strength, speed, durability, and the ability to fly. But what makes her stand out is her knowledge of the multiverse. Seriously, she's like a walking library of alternate realities, making her an anchor for the DC Universe. So let's talk about power. Hers go far beyond the physical. She can manipulate photonic energy, creating blasts or even protective force field. She's also got this really handy truth sense, which allows her to coax out or detect the truth. And she's got a psychic connection with Diana that lets them share emotions or dreams. Plus, she's an expert combatant and a brilliant strategist to boot. Over the years, she's worn a lot of different hats, literally. She's donned Amazon armor, a star-patterned costume, and even a Dark Star exosuit. Her iconic black outfit with red stars is fierce and functional, reflecting her role as a protector of worlds. Her strength, wisdom, and resilience helps her do everything from battling villains all the way to navigating the multiverse. And as powerful as she is, there's a version of Wonder Woman that can totally smack her down. I'm talking about death metal Wonder Woman. One of the most powerful versions ever, but we're gonna get to her in just a little bit. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed yet, let's go ahead and take care of that now. Imagine Wonder Woman becoming a goddess, a full-on cosmic powerhouse. In one amazing storyline, Diana transforms into the goddess of peace, a version of herself unlike anything we've ever seen before. Okay, so this all starts off with her origins, crafted from clay and blessed by 5 Greek goddesses. Her strength, her wisdom, and her abilities weren't just gifts, they came from the collective thoughts and hopes of the Amazons. She wasn't just their champion, she was their dream. So let's backstep for a hot second here. Diana's journey takes a dramatic turn during her fight against the evil Nemesis. At first, she steps into the role of the god of war, embracing her battle instincts to take on her enemies. But here's where things start to shift a little bit. She realizes something profound. War might bring power, but peace, that's where the real strength lies here. In this moment of clarity, she merges with the spirit of Irene, the original goddess of peace. This changes everything. Now she can resolve conflicts without violence. The powers expand far beyond physical combat. She becomes a force of harmony and understanding, capable of disarming enemies with wisdom and compassion. And you know, what's really remarkable about this version of Wonder Woman is how she proves that peace isn't a weakness. By embracing harmony, she defeats Nemesis and inspires others to seek a better path. As the defender of the universe, the Goddess of Peace shows us all that true strength doesn't come from fighting. It comes from building bridges and protecting hope. And then there's a version of Wonder Woman unlike anything you've ever seen before, one marked by magic and mystery. This time, Diana crosses paths with Hecate, the powerful witch goddess. Through a fateful ritual, she gains incredible magical powers, transforming into the witch-marked Wonder Woman, a force that can rewrite the rules of reality itself. When this transformation happens, a glowing triple moon symbol appears on her forehead, a mark of divine feminine power. But this isn't just a basic upgrade. She can reshape the world around her. Just imagine her lifting buildings with a flick of her wrist or crushing mountains like they were nothing. The strength that she already had as Wonder Woman is amplified by Hecate's ancient magic, making her one of the most potent versions of herself across the multiverse. But what's cool about it is that her powers aren't just about destruction, they're also about creation, change, and the raw energy of magic. This version of Wonder Woman proves how far Diana can evolve in the DC universe with her newfound abilities. She's not just the Amazon warrior that we all know. She's a living, breathing anomaly, a blend of godly strength and magical might that just can't quite be contained. In the story of Death Metal, Wonder Woman steps into a version of herself that is way more powerful than ever. Armed with the ever-awesome Chainsaw of Truth, she's ready to take on the darkest villains the universe has ever seen. Anti-Monitor, Superboy Prime, and even Darkseid himself. This is Wonder Woman at her strongest, leading the charge to save the universe from total destruction. But it's not just about power. Diana shows the strength that comes from within. As the leader of the Trinity team, storming the deadly Castle Bat, her resolve shines through. Wonder Woman embodies the heart and soul of her character while pushing her powers to new heights, making her one of the most unstoppable versions in the DC universe. With Death Metal in hand and the legendary Lasso of Truth, Wonder Woman leads a fierce army of Lobos into the depths of the dark multiverse. Though her army's wiped out and she loses Luthor's plans, she doesn't give up. She reaches the World Forge, determined to stop the destruction of reality. Facing down Darkseid and the Anti-Monitor, she taps into the true power of her lasso, the truth. In a decisive moment, she combines the Death Metal with the fires of the World Forge, melting them together, and the result here is mind-blowing. Heroes and villains across the multiverse suddenly remember their histories, uniting into one story. This powerful act brings new hope, proving that truth, not violence, is the key to saving the world. Shame about losing that many copies of the main man, though. In the world of Wonder Woman Amazonia, things are really different. Earth 19 shows us a version of England where the royal family was killed and a ruthless new king has taken control. This jerkwad rules with an iron fist, building a powerful military to keep the country in line. But this version of England also introduces its own Batman and the Flash, and of course, Wonder Woman. Diana's story this time around starts really rough. As a young child, she's kidnapped by a cruel version of Steve Trevor, who takes her away from everything that she knows. But Diana doesn't stay down for long. She escapes, and with fierce determination, she takes on the mantle of Wonder Woman. She doesn't just fight for herself, though. She leads a resistance group that fights against the king's oppressive rule, hoping to improve the world. She's not just a hero here, she's a symbol of hope for the people who need it the most. With her strength, courage, and leadership, she doesn't just survive in this harsh world, she fights to change it. And in doing so, she becomes one of the greatest heroes the world has ever seen, standing up against tyranny in the name of justice. Speaking of standing up for that, here in a little bit, we're going to talk about the Golden Age Wonder Woman, who is the epitome of justice. So stick around. In Wonder Woman, the true Amazon, Jill Thompson, who wrote and drew this powerful graphic novel, crafts a fresh, bold take on Diana's story. This version of Diana isn't the hero that we know right away. She's spoiled and self-centered, being the only child born on Themyscira. Because of this, she's constantly craving attention from the other Amazons, trying to prove herself to everybody. But she doesn't understand yet what it truly means to be an Amazonian warrior. The turning point comes when she meets a humble stablewoman, the only person who doesn't give her the attention that she craves. Through the stablewoman, Diana learns real strength and what it means to be a true warrior. The story redefines her path and transforms her into the Wonder Woman that we all know and love. Beyond this, the Elseworld story has a twist. It's inspired by the old German movie Blue Angel and tells a different version of Diana's journey. She wakes up with no memory of who she is, only to be forced into a life that she never asked for, becoming, you guessed it, an exotic dancer. When she's about to lose herself, Steve Trevorson tries to rescue her, but the cheetah confronts her, and in that moment, Diana's memories all come rushing back. She remembers who she really is and finally becomes the hero she was meant to be, Wonder Woman. In Imagine Wonder Woman, things take a different turn. Instead of Diana, we meet Maria Mendoza, a brave woman from Earth 6. Maria was born in a small village, where she did everything possible to protect a holy site from destruction. See, this sacred place had a deep connection to her people, the Incan community. Whenever a corrupt meanie pants threatens it, she's got a lifetime chance. Here's the thing, she's chosen by the sun god of the Incan people to become the new Wonder Woman. With a golden staff, she wields incredible powers. The moment that she touches it, she's transformed into a super-powered hero ready to fight against evil. But turns out her staff is more than just a weapon, it's her key to the heavens. This staff lets her fly super fast whenever she needs it just by thinking of where she wants to go. Not surprisingly, with the strength of a gale wind and the speed of a comet, she's a force to be reckoned with. But her power doesn't end there. Like a telekinetic warrior, the golden staff also lets her move things with her mind. And if she ever needs a break from being Wonder Woman, she can quickly transform back into her usual self. And when not in use, the staff changes back into a bracelet, shield, or lasso, always ready for action. Her journey as Wonder Woman is about bravery, sacrifice, and fighting for what's right. She defeats Armand, saves her village, and proves that courage can come from anywhere. The Golden Age Wonder Woman first appeared in All-Star Comics #8 way back in 1942, and she quickly became one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. One day, Diana, living on Paradise Island, hears about the war happening worldwide and feels the call to action. She decides to leave her home and fight for humanity, knowing that she can make a real difference. This marks the beginning of her journey as the original Wonder Woman. On top of that, the Golden Age Wonder Woman wasn't just about the fights she won and the values that she stood for: love, peace, and justice. She used her extraordinary powers throughout her adventures, including her lasso of truth and indestructible bracelets, to protect the innocent. She wasn't just a hero, she was a symbol of hope, showing the world that strength doesn't always have to come from violence. As time passed, the multiverse concept introduced us to a new twist. The Golden Age Wonder Woman was placed on Earth 2 during the Crisis on Infinite Earths. The heroes from Earth 2, including Golden Age Superman and Golden Age Batman, had their versions of events. Diana of Earth 2 became the core Wonder Woman for many readers, especially during the Golden Age of comics. But when the Crisis came, even Earth 2's heroes had to fight for their reality. Wonder Woman, ever brave, did everything in her power to save the world from being erased. But in the end, her reality was wiped out, making her part of comic book history. Despite this, her legacy as the first Wonder Woman inspires countless stories today. Okay, this is going to get to a little bit of a contentious point because a lot of people love it and a lot of people hate it. You know what I'm talking about, the New 52. This is where DC relaunched its entire universe, giving all of its iconic characters fresh and exciting updates. Wonder Woman was no exception to this. In this version, Diana faced challenges like never before. She battled the infamous Darkseid, teamed up with Justice League Dark, and fought against godlike beings that tested her strength and courage. She also dealt with new villains like Silver Swan, adding drama and a whole lot of tension to her already intense adventures. But it wasn't just the big fights that made this version of Wonder Woman stand out, it was her journey. She was discovering more about her origins, her powers, and her complicated relationships with just about everybody. She was forced to face her struggles, and it was exciting to see how she overcame each challenge with her strength, her wisdom, and her determination. But like everything else DC, the new 52 Wonder Woman wasn't exactly without its flaws. Some of the new villains didn't quite live up to expectations. Characters like, Apollo were underwhelming and didn't really pose much of a real threat. The pacing was also really off at some times. And some big moments were just rushed, like the reveal of Diana's true origins, and many of the storylines also felt unfinished or just kind of sloppy by the time you get to the end of it. The whole Finch run especially seemed disjointed, with way too many new characters popping up without enough time to really develop any of them. Still though, New 52 Wonder Woman was still a powerhouse, fighting for justice alongside her fellow Justice League members. Even with all the really horrible ups and downs, she still stood tall as one of the most important heroes in the DC universe. And that's a wrap for today. So what do you think? Let us know in the comments section down below, and we'll see you in our next episode.